Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, tonight we're going to talk about unwanted house guests and what they can teach us. I think most people have dealt with an unwanted house guest at some point in time in their life, and if you haven't, you probably will. Generally, your friends, your neighbors, people around you, they know they're bad house guests before you do. And a lot of times they'll tell you, you know, this person, they've worn out their welcome in a lot of places. You know, this person has a pretty bad habit of holding up their end of the deal. You know, this person has kind of left a lot of people twisting in the wind over the years. And if you have a neighbor like that, oftentimes they'll tell you, they'll be real direct about it if you got a good neighbor. So I'm going to give you a scenario. Let's say you've got an unwanted house guest. You've grown kind of accustomed to them, but you really don't want them there to begin with. And you got a neighbor who's telling you they're bad. They've sold out their friends. They've done a lot of bad things over the last few years. And when the time comes, they're not going to leave. Mark my words. And the neighbor sincerely believes this. Neighbor may also say other things that aren't necessarily true. Eventually, your neighbor starts trying to help you. It's the way they see it. And they make it uncomfortable for your house guest. Then all of a sudden, your neighbor standing there talking to the house guest, you've invited him over. And your house guest lays him out. You, being a responsible homeowner, whoa. This can't go on here. We don't want this in my house. We need to sit down and talk about you leaving. And your house guest tells you, no, we're not going to talk about me leaving. In fact, if we're going to have any discussion at all, it's going to be about us moving forward and becoming better friends. And you doing what I say. How do you view the assessment of your neighbor who got knocked out? Pretty accurate now, right? Certainly seems that way. In fact, that incident is so dramatic that you may even believe the stuff that isn't true now. Because you got to see something. You got to see that side. No, we're not going to talk about it. We're in control. It's in my house now. That scenario has played out. It has played out. Now, where we go from here, I don't know. It's entirely up to the other people in the house, the people that live in that house, and what they decide to do, and how they decide to react or respond, and whether or not the neighbor's going to help them, and the neighbor's friends. There seems to be a growing consensus in the mind of the house guest that talking is weakness. It's not. It's not. Failing to talk about leaving is the latest mistake in a long string of mistakes. And it may very well turn the whole household against us. I mean, against the house guest. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good night.